Hello there, my name's Scott. Today I'm going to be doing a review on the Ego Mega Dual Coil Cartomisers, which I received from www.e-cigwizard.com. So a bit of a mouthful there. Before I start that, I must point out I did receive them free of charge for the purpose of conducting a review. My opinion of the product remains true, honest and accurate as always. Okay, so let's go straight ahead and I'll show you it in a bit more detail. Okay, so here we have the Ego Mega Dual Coil Cartomisers. Now I can tell you these things are very large, and I've got a this is like a dual coil cartomiser there, just to give you a bit of a size comparison. And they hold, well, they're meant to hold around 5 ml of e-liquid, but from my experience I'd say it's more like sort of 3.5 ml of e-liquid. You probably can get 5 in there, but I find that you start getting sort of leakage problems then, and you have to sort of end up sort of blowing quite a bit of it out before the leaking stops. But where I've been using, I've been filling them up with about sort of 3.5 ml of e-liquid, and I've not had any sort of problems at all. And obviously you're still getting plenty of vaping time out of them. Okay, so they come in either like an all black version, or you've got a clear version. For some reason the black ones come with like a flat rubber mouthpiece, whereas the clear ones come with a rather sort of nipple-like round rubber mouthpiece. But both mouthpieces, you know, they feel very sort of comfortable to use. I will say that the clear ones are not the most attractive, and like they look to be very sort of sturdily made. It's got quite a thick plastic here, but it's got just a little bit sort of too much writing over it for my liking. And these incidentally are made by a company called Smock. Not smoke, but smock. Well, at least that's how it's spelt anyway. Like I said, you know, you've got writing here, you've got writing here, you've got pictures of a pipe for some reason on it there, and a load of sort of squiggles and it underneath it. And these will fit onto any sort of 510 device, well, like, you know, your Reavers, your Egos, etc., your T-Rexes. Now, when the clear one is attached to like an Ego style battery, it doesn't really sort of do it much justice in the looks department. Obviously it's nice that you can see your e-liquid in there, but personally I much prefer the look of the black, because it just, especially obviously if you've got a black battery, it just makes it look like quite a smart sort of looking device really. Obviously all the same width all the way up there. Okay, so filling is up. Depending on how you sort of do it, it can be quite a time consuming process. Now if you obviously get your dropper bottle and you just start dripping against like the inside wall there, let it go down and soak into the polyester wool. You know, like I said, you drip in sort of about 3.5 ml of e-liquid, so it can take quite a long time. But to be quite honest, that is the way that I've been filling them up, and just because I just find it a little bit sort of less messy really. But I'm just obviously, just to sort of speed things up, I'm going to use a syringe here, which I've got filled up with about 3.5 ml of e-liquid. So I'm just going to bung that down now and slowly squeeze. I'll try and show you it. Not that it makes very interesting viewing, but there you go. And the other side. And I find that this comes out pretty much sort of spot on really. There's just enough juice there, just a little bit on the sort of overlapping, and that'll soon soak in after a minute or two. Okay then, so let's go and see what actually vapes like. Okay, so that is the Ego Mega Dual Coil Cartomisers, and you know, you can get them in either the like the clear version or the black version. For me personally, I think the clear version looks pretty bad really. They're just sort of just way too much sort of writing, fancy squiggles and random images of pipes and that on there for my liking. But the black ones though, you know, when you've got one of those on like a black sort of Ego or Reaver battery, you know, I think it actually makes it look like quite a smart device really. You know, it's a little bit sort of cigar-like, but definitely a lot nicer than the clear ones in my opinion anyway. Okay, so I filled this up with my favourite tobacco flavoured e-liquid, and it's an 18mg strength. And like I said, you know, they do say you can get up to 5 mils of e-liquid in these Cartomisers, I think that's been a little bit ambitious, so I personally think you're getting around sort of 3.5 ml at an absolute sort of stretch. And I've tried sort of adding more liquid than that, but I do personally find that you start dripping out of the at the bottom of the cartomiser then. So, but with 3 mils of e-liquid, like I said, 3.5. If you let it sort of soak in a bit, you can get probably about sort of 3.5, and that seems to be sort of pretty much bang on the money for me. Okay, so I'll show you it in action. As you can see, vapour wise, just in a really nice amount of vapour. This is just a like a PG e-liquid in there. I've not tried them with a VG. I can only assume though that I can't see any reason why they wouldn't work properly with a VG liquid, and you probably only get like a lot sort of thicker, denser vapour as well with one of those types. And throw hit wise, I'm finding that to be give a really nice strong throw hit. I'd say if you're going to sort of compare it to something, it's like slightly stronger than using like a 510 low resistance atomizer with like an 18 mg strength e-liquid, because I personally find that the higher the nicotine content of the e-liquid, like the stronger or the harsher the throat hit. So I'd say, if you're going to compare it to something, it's probably just a gnat's cock stronger than like using like a 510 low resistance atomizer. Now flavour. This is quite a strange one. Now the e-liquid I'm using in here, like this is a flavour that I use like on a daily basis, and I'm not getting a dull flavour out of it. Far from it, I'm getting plenty of flavour, but the flavour is slightly different to what you would taste in any other sort of device that I've ever used, or any other sort of cartomiser or atomizer. Normally, you get a very sort of slight difference, but it's more in the actual sort of strength of the flavour when you're using other sort of atomizers or cartomisers. But this one, it really has sort of slightly changed the flavour. It's a very different sort of tobacco now. I wouldn't say it's a negative thing, because it's not like, oh, it's a horrible taste now, but it's definitely a noticeable difference in the actual flavour rather than the strength. The strength, you're getting plenty of strength of flavour, but the actual taste is definitely a little bit different. But in terms of vapour, throw hit, well, and the flavour as well, even though like the flavour for me personally is coming out just slightly different, can't really fault it really. I'm finding that these like when I filled them up with sort of 3 ml of e-liquid, I'm going through about sort of 1.5 of these a day. So it's if you don't like sort of filling up very often, then probably a good one for you. So not a great deal else I can really sort of tell you about it really. If you fancy trying them out for yourself, go along to www.e-cigwizard.com, type in this code at checkout, and they'll give you a 12.5% discount every time you purchase from them. Thank you very much for watching, and also come along and visit my website at www.e-cigreviews.com. That's e-cig-reviews.com. Cheers guys, happy vaping, see you later.